Back alongside Craig Button and Frankie Corrado in studio. Jakob Chychrun has been an Ottawa Senator now for exactly 1 year and 4 days. He's not only likely to be dealt to the deadline right now, but our guys tell us that he's number 5 on the trade bait board. How aggressive should the Sens be in trying to complete this deal before the deadline, Frankie?
I don't necessarily think they have to be super aggressive in doing it, but if they can get a return that helps them in the near future, then it's something worth considering. Draft picks, who cares right now about draft picks? Because this is where the Sens are at. Like, they've had all the draft picks. They had plenty of draft picks the last few years. And if you think you're going to make this quick turnaround in this retool, you need players that are going to be able to help you next year and the year after. So if you're not getting that, you might be better served to just keep him and see if you can get him playing to the level that you know he can play at next season.
I'm going to use a farming analogy. You start to till the earth, and then you start to plant the seeds, and then you try to sow the seeds. Listen, if you can get a good return, like Frankie said, it's going to help your team, change the composition of your team in the near future. That's what they have to do. It's not about getting a future prospect or a draft pick. It's about improving their team. That's where they have to go. So a lot of the seeds that get planted at the trade deadline don't start to be sowed until postseason, into the trade, into the draft, and whatnot. And I think that's where they got to focus their energy. Hey, listen, be talking. Maybe somebody's ready to do something. I will say this, though. If they do get a first-round draft pick for Jakob Chychrun, which I would think would be a reasonable ask and something that somebody would give up, then do what the Vancouver Canucks did last year. Take the first-round pick they got for Horvat and turn it into something that helps your team, Philip Hronek. That's where I would take it would have to be a two-move situation.
Which then brings us to the cost. Landing Chychrun last year cost the Sens a first-rounder and 2 second-round picks. Craig, if you were a general manager of this league, how hard would it be for you to be able to put aside what you paid for him versus what you're going to get back for him just 1 year later?
Well, if you're going to live in the past, you're never going to be able to have success in the present. Forget about the future. Bottom line is what you paid. Gino, if you buy a house and you pay $100 for your house and it's only worth $80 now and you can't get more than $80 and you're going to hang on to $100, you're in trouble. And that's what they have to look at there. It's not about what you paid. What's the marketplace right now?
It's also a different group, right? This is not the group that acquired Jakob Chychrun, so they could look at it and say, hey, that's not our problem. This is the market for him today, and we're going to make the best move that we feel can help our organization. So ultimately, if they can't get a move that helps them in the short term and into the long term, just keep them and see if, like, you want this team to turn around. So who are the Ottawa Senators to turn their nose up at a veteran NHL defenseman if you can't get a return that you think can help your team?
All right, only 2 spots below Chychrun on our board right now is teammate Vlad Tarasenko. Frankie, if you were in charge of a contending team, is he the type of player that you would like to be able to add to your roster?
Secondary market, goal-scoring player. He goes into a position where he doesn't need to play on your first power play unit. Yes, absolutely. And where Tarasenko would thrive is in a situation where you don't have to be the man. You just have to be another cog in a wheel that's already moving in the right direction. So if you're a team like the Edmonton Oilers or maybe even the Vancouver Canucks where your guys, you're established. You already have that in place. You're just sliding this guy in, and now you win some matchups maybe in the playoffs because, oh, we don't have enough firepower to cover Tarasenko, so now there's a little more room for him in that situation. He can't be the main piece. He just has to be a piece that can score lower in the lineup.
I'll finish this real quick. Edmonton Oilers, ding, 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 ding.
I love when you play the matchmaker. That's good. And then the game show dingling, which is great. 4 days until the deadline. We'll see what the Sens and our former co-worker, Dave Poulin, who worked with us only this time last year at the trade deadline. We'll see what Pooley can pull off.